Right, so I'm going to show you a video today of Spectacle Island that I've been working on. I use a lot of mods, so I'm afraid I can't tell you what they all are. But when I started the island, I started with scrap all, and I have a mod called Spring Clean, which basically got rid of everything apart from two structures, which I'll point out as we go. So basically, everything you see on this island has been placed by me and put in place by me. Um, the whole feel of it is meant to be a working village, a working town, if you like. So let's get started. Here we are out on the dock. Apologise for this. I'm trying to do this in Windows mode because it's the only way I can record. So your boat would come in and you'd moor up to one of these points. If it's a freight um, boat, a ship, then it will be unloaded by the crane and the goods put into the conveyor belt system there. Again, I've got to apologise there's no volume because I've got a lot of droids and on the last attempt at making this video, they talk to me all over it and it's hard to understand. So here we are. This kind of area is meant for the harbour master, and there's a kind of greeting point so he can tell you where to go, where you need to be. This is where the fishermen work. They bring their boats, smaller boats, into this kind of area dock here, and they can unload and work with the fish. So I'm guessing it's quite smelly down here. Harbour master has some spare kit for them if they need it, if it's broken. The repairs could go on in there. Over here is obviously some more fish drying and getting ready to be smoked and preserved. There's the security tower up there, which you'll be able to see a bit better in a minute. Up here is where the freight comes to be sorted and loaded up onto the freight lift. Unfortunately, there's a bug with this. The buttons are all the way up there, and I can't use the lift, but it looks good. So that's the freight lift. Next to that is the passenger stairway. So you would come up here on foot, and you've got a radiation scanner there and a decontamination booth just in case. Freight comes up into the elevator here. There's another radiation scanner, and it's sorted out into where it needs to go. We've got some hides drying in the sun when they've been tanned. In here, we have three. We have some vehicles as vehicle storage, showing three warehouse storages here. Number two is furniture, and number three is supply. In there, everything you can think of: clothes, ammunition, everything Vault-Tec stuff. Um, Anything that would be needed would be stored in their supply. There's the security tower, which looks out over the bay and incoming boats, etc. The browny orange roof, that was the first building that was remaining when I scrapped this. Just the walls and the roof, none of the dock, none of the area around, none of the decoration was remaining. And this building here, this building with a kind of added on sloped glass building, the shell of that building was the other building that remained. So we have some artillery there just in case, more stock and things been put out on boats that are stored here in this area ready for people to take. And we go in here, which is my crafting area. That's where I zone in and where I do all my crafting on here. The thing that takes time, it's not putting down everything, planning it, putting the floor in. Getting the floor in right does be a bit of a pain, but it's the details. If you look how much details actually in here, most of these benches come bare or bare enough, and I've put in a lot of detail, a lot more when you get around to the market area you'll see in a minute. Okay, so this is the admin area. You come in here and there's a person that will take your details. If you're applying to be a settler, she'll deal with you. If you're a merchant, she'll tell you direct you to the closest trader or to the warehouse for your storage, and you're done and dusted here. This is the office. Oh, that's one of my settlers. Hello, mate. Shall I let you go up? No, you're going to let me go past. Okay, continue on with the admin scene. Down here we have the Undertaker. Now, I didn't want fields and fields and fields of food and loads and loads of people working it, because it just wouldn't be representative of a working coastal place where they got their foods coming as imports, and exports, etc., would be other items that they're making. So these are a mod. They produce food when you give them power. So I don't have space upon space and settler upon settler working on just endless fields of corn or whatever. In here is one of the first settler working areas. We have these guys are making metal objects and recycling ceramics, etc., which all go into the actually go into the settlement inventory. But for the point of role playing, these guys are making things for export. This guy makes ammunition, which is kind of cool. And this room is well vented. It's got some sounds. I don't think it would need much in the way of decorating, because it's a work area. It's not a social area or what have you. But in here we have the food processing area, I guess we'd call it. That's a canning machine. You can put meat into cans. On that one there, this is a butcher. I have put some decoration here because it just kind of needed it. The generic, I think these guys are called Northern Diggers or something is the mod for these guys. It gives you these settlers working stations. Fantastic little mod. So again, out here is more working stations. That's that's the botanist working on there. He gets you some fertilizer, etc. This is the the forester. He gets you some little bits of wood, etc., like things like that. So there's another guy walking around in security outfit. The next module here is the market. Now this is heavily decorated, as you can tell. Many items put in around in here. We've got guns and ammo. We've got general store. We've got armor, and we've got clothes. These are our stores. The bars, etc., and first aid you'll find later on. And this is now another area I'm very proud of. Here is the garage and the maintenance area. I do apologise for the sucky frame rate. I don't know what's going on here in the lag. There again, this is heavily decorated because there isn't much that you can actually put down in vanilla, and there's heavily mods in here for decoration. And this is the industrial area up here, and upstairs is our power armor workshop. Okay, so we've got different sets of armor. That's one power armor frame right there. We've got a full set of my X01 Mark 6, which is fully upgraded. The Paladin Dansk is my companion at the moment. He has another full set of X01 fully upgraded to the level 6. And there's a few more knocking about the place that we are in the process of repairing. So there's quite a bit of extra power armor stolen from raiders, etc. put up here. Oh, one little feature I nearly forgot is another lift. Obviously this power armor is heavy stuff, and if it breaks down it can be lifted by the outside forklift from here onto the lift, which again I think the buttons are probably 40 foot up in the air, which doesn't help. So the lift would bring the power armor up here. That's for the sake of roleplay rather than actual function, because those lifts don't work very well. Got some equipment in here which the mechanics are in the process of repairing or scrapping or what have you. But again, this is heavily mods, lots and lots of decoration. I always end up somehow having a settler stuck up on that roof. Don't panic, he's not suicidal, he will be coming down at some point. In here is a kind of overspill work area. If I end up with a few settlers coming in, at the moment they're not assigned, but it kind of looks nice having another one there with a few bits and pieces around. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it apart from decoration on the dock side. Now we're going to move into the more refined area where people are living, the living area. This whole area here I've built myself, different layers of foundations and what have you. For some reason the settlers don't seem to use it. It seems to be quicker just to go around the outside. Maybe I can fence that off later and get them to actually use this area, because the idea of this is taken from inspiring when I was younger. Well, I lived in Plymouth for a little while, and they have this area around by Plymouth Hoe where you can sit, chill out, and look at the sea and just enjoy yourself. So this was the purpose of this area here. So I'll take you around this way. This is the first of the housing. It's kind of the upper class housing, if you like, but it's more, it's better. It's got some nicer things in it. So this is the first room, bedroom. Doesn't need to say much in there. This is a chill out zone where you can just sit, chill, drink, chat with your mates about the day, etc. These are another mod which improve happiness in the settlement. They're very good. I've got a few of those dotted around the place. As we go upstairs, obviously there's ironing boards. It's details which are important, which makes it feel right. There's another bedroom even. These boxes I've put loads of rifles and armour and things like that, because apparently over time the settlers, if there's a box full of stuff in a defined bedroom, they will pick it up, but we'll wait yet to see on that. Some of the facilities here, toilets, and we have rails and we have sinks. Over here is some more facilities, more washing areas, shaving and showers. Hence this is the nicer of the, and then it goes up into the roof space. And it looks nice. This building really does look gorgeous. I'll show you another look from the outside. We've got the back actually, because there's a little patio here. But yeah, that back bit does look a bit pugly actually. I'll go back to the front. Much better. So the front. Now there we are. It's a very good looking building. I was very pleased with the way that one came out. So we'll move on. There's a few more buildings to show you. Again, the details. I did have all of this area leveled with flooring at different levels and stairways to go up. It looked okay. It did look kind of false and pushed in there, but the main problem was the settlers would just cluster around the bottom of the stairs and they wouldn't use it. So I'm not sure whether something wasn't lined up 100% or something, but it just didn't work out. And I feel that this kind of makes it a little bit more natural. Like you come off of the work area up there and you come into sort of the living zone, and there's still mud and pathways in that. Anyway, here is my bar. I need a name for the bar. It's one of the most popular locations on the site, as you can see. I do have about 50 settlers living here. 55 I think it is. As the gorillas look. They're having a drink maybe. They're meeting with people. Alcoholic gorillas, only on my settlement I suppose. So I do need a name for my bar, which I put up in lights, but I'll figure that one out eventually. As I say, I've got 55 settlers here, but some of those are robots, and I don't know whether the gorillas count towards the cost and the dogs, etc. So, but anyway, this is a outside bar area. I'm finding that the inside area gets so crowded, people just don't seem to go anywhere, that I put this area here. The AI seems to think, instead of like, okay, it's quite crowded in there, I can't find anywhere to sit, I'm just going to stand in the middle of the bar. So the settlers are a bit dumbass like that. But anyway, they do use that one. There's a few bits for kids to play on, although I don't have any children settlers, but you know, role playing and all that. This is the central, well not central, but this is the living area protection system. There's a lot of heavy lasers and rocket launchers on there. Anybody who comes up, it's bad news for them. Over here, really quick, I've put a started to build. I'm thinking about building maybe 3 or 4 more of these little isolated units. They've got their own bits and pieces out here. Um, Telly, well, nobody, just that man telling us about the war in the beginning. Nothing else on, but there we are. But these are enclosed units, and I'm going to be calling these like little beach condos. So I might be putting a few more of those in around there. I don't know yet. It depends how the work takes me. There's a radio tower for receiving broadcasts. I've put in the lighthouse as well. I put lights up in the lighthouse. They work briefly, but then they tend to shut off. I think that's probably because the lighthouse, again, is a mod. Okay, so we come back here. This is a 15-minute video already. That's going to take a lot. Oh, there's one of my security guards. Hi, Mr. Security Guard. Good thing about having robot security is they don't get tired. And they don't... This is all built with Autonomatron downloaded content, obviously. They don't get tired, so they don't go to bed. So you end up with 24-hour security by having the droids doing it, which is quite useful. So you don't, if you do get attacked in the middle of the night, you don't have to wait for your settlers to get out of bed, get their stuff, and run across. But this is the hospital. Sorry to babble on. Reception, you'd come in. Hi, I'm here. Dig, dig, dig. Take a seat. Obviously, this for role play more than anything. Hospital security over there. There he is. Again, we've got medical supplies there you can buy. Just the idea of that I thought would be the pharmacy. Over here is a surgical chair which is manned by somebody during the day. You can sit on there and he talks to you about some stuff. And then up here, again, it's the details up here. It really sells it for me. Decontamination area, storage for stuff that they've been using, supplies. And these are... obviously there's towels and stuff like that. These are intensive care beds. There's a few downstairs as well, and these are normal hospital beds. The good thing is that these count towards my settlement bed count, and the settlers use it, so they're in and out, and it actually looks quite good, like people are actually coming into the hospital and stuff. Obviously they're only staying one night. These are spare gurneys, and again, as I said, there are some intensive care for emergency. This would equate to being the ER. If somebody comes in an emergency, they'd be put in there, and the droids will take care, and the doctors take care, and whatever. Okay. But this is only this again radiation detectors. I'm actually zooming through this as a video because already it's 17 minutes long. And this is this is water. These things here, they produce a lot more water than the pumps, and I think they look cool, so I've used a few of those. More security, as you see, a few more stations dotted around. There's a protection thing there, artillery at the back. Now this is the main living area. I'm not going to run you through the whole thing. It's 2 stories. Every room is identical to this one. There's 6 beds and 6 lockers. Okay, the only difference is on this floor there are toilets and baths, and upstairs in a similar room to this there are washing machines for your clothing and laundry. In there are approximately I think the settlement can hold 95 people. I think there's about 50 odd, 56, something like that, beds in that building alone. It's quite an efficient design I came up with for this. It's only 4 squares, 3 sets of bunk beds and a locker each. You can put stuff in the lockers. I'm sure they'll use that. So vast amount of housing on a very small area. Now this is the back of our dock and working area. This is the final part. Obviously we've got some artillery, a bit more building for role playing. This guy down here is gets you nuclear material. It's another settler workstation, and ironically enough I had a ghoul as one of my settlers, so I sent him down as the guy that works there, which I kind of like. It's kind of a neat little thing. As you can tell, it's raining, the dogs are wet through. I have 3 dogs. There we are. There's dog meat, companion one, and I've produced 2 dogs with the downloaded content. And here we are back at the docks. So Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.